Well, hello. There's a lot of exciting things happening over the last week, and the biggest one in the world of social media has been the launch of Threads. So let's talk a little bit about Threads, but let's give it a little context, especially how we see it here at Pink Media. Remember, there was a day when, I don't know if you guys were around when Friendster and then MySpace, so there was kind of a once upon a time thing going on here, an evolution of social media. But if you look at where we're at currently, everybody's comfortable with the concept of stories, whether they're in Facebook or Instagram and so forth. They were even in LinkedIn and Twitter for a little while. But what were they originally? They were snaps. And the technology of snaps was then kind of borrowed by Meta and some of the other companies. And they became stories. And now stories is just sort of part of our social media ecosystem. And then if you look even deeper, then once upon a time they were just known as TikToks, but then they became Reels and YouTube Shorts. And so where we're at today, for the very first time, that whole world of Twitter, that monopoly of Twitter, has been kind of spun off into a second app, an app all its own. So it hasn't really been integrated into anything. It's actually been now a standalone app. But the key is, over a 5-day period, they now have over 100 million users, and that user base is growing. And so we'll have to see, number one, where is it in a week? And also, how many of those folks kind of stick with it and become active daily users? So the key is that there's a lot of exciting things going on there. And we think that right now we're kind of just getting a peek, just a glimmer of the excitement and what's happening there in this world of Threads and Twitter and this environment that's kind of growing into its own. And so at the end of the day, though, what's most important is that all of these, whether it's Snapchat or Instagram and Facebook and so forth, they're all just touch points. They're just touch points for you to get your message, your company's branding and so forth out there in front of a targeted LGBTQ audience. And so that really leads to, where do we come in? Why work with us? And I would just say first, from what we were talking about, and then moving forward, we understand kind of some of the nuances and subtleties of these various platforms, but also we're continuing to learn. It's always an evolution, and we're going to continue to adapt and learn to what's happening there. But what's important is that we feel like we have a strong foundation and understanding of some of the strengths and weaknesses in these various platforms, and that we could kind of weave that knowledge into a kind of a cutting edge strategy that is very specific to you. And it doesn't matter whether you're a destination and you have influencer content, journalists, articles content, PR, videos and more, or perhaps you're in the health industry and you have imagery, video, messaging that really needs to reach the right gay, perhaps lesbian or transgender audience specifically. Or maybe you're trying to reach a Hispanic, Latino LGBT audience, or a Black, queer, people of color audience. And so we can help with all that and more. We know how to reach these audiences, and we know how to do this for you. We're a company that is at the intersection of LGBTQ, PR, and advertising, but with a twist. And that twist is that we kind of layer on top of it this media entity called ILoveGay. It's an ILoveGay social media network. We have over 1 million engaged LGBTQ folks that follow us from all around the world. And we think we are one of the very best as a media and marketing firm for you to work with when it comes to reaching the LGBTQ community online. So really, we hope that you'll give us a try, give us a call, and we would love to work with you. Thank you.